Hi everyone, welcome. It's Lauren here from Acting Classes in Perth, and this is episode number 21 of the Acting Classes in Perth Your Questions Answered Daily Show. The show where I sit down and answer all your acting related questions 7 days a week at 7 p.m. Yes, that is right, every single day here on Facebook Live and YouTube Live simultaneously. Now, a big thank you to everyone who is already joining us. I can see you starting to click in and watch. Thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. Now, today's question comes in from Sanya, but before we get to Sanya's question, I think it's time we roll the intro. Okay, so today's question comes in from Sanya, but before we get to that, I would like to know if you're watching us, give us a big thumbs up, add a comment in, or just say hello. I'd love to know if you're out there watching us. Now, let's jump into today's question, which is brought to us from Sanya.
My question is, do you need permission to film in public places? And if so, how do you approach them?
Sanya, thank you so much for sending in your question. Great question. Now, yes, you do. You must absolutely have permission from the person who owns or manages that location. So if you are looking to film, in your case, Sanya, I know you do a lot of documentary work, but also if you're an actor out there and you just want to put together, some monologues or your own kind of low-budget independent showreel piece or short films, web series, which I urge you and encourage you to do, then yes, absolutely, you will definitely need a location agreement to be able to shoot on somebody's property. So the document that you're going to look for, and you can just jump on Google and have a find of one, there'll be plenty out there. It's called a location agreement or a location release agreement. It's a basic contract that allows for you to have permission to shoot on that property, to have access to that property, and to be able to utilize particular services at that property as well, like maybe a gas services or light, power, electricity, water supplies, the use of the toilet, that kind of thing. It'll also stipulate what the reimbursement or compensation back to the owner of that premise is. For independent filmmakers, that may be nothing, but in the case of a more professional project, then by all means they're going to be paid for the use of their assets, I guess you could refer to it. And it's just a good way to ensure that everybody knows, what's on the line, what's being kind of dealt with. It's just a generalized contract we use here in the film industry. What I would also suggest you to do, Sanya, with your location agreements or any shooting you're doing in a location that you don't own, because of course if you own the location and you live there or you have access when no one else is there often, then by all means you can just go ahead and shoot your own location in your own place. That's fine. But if you are shooting in, say, someone else's location, I would always encourage you to make sure that in your location agreement you have stipulated any potential reshoots that are required from you. The general reason behind that, I guess you'd say, is because when you as a film or a filmmaker or a film production go and shoot in a location, it's very disruptive to the everyday goings on of the people who live in and around that immediate kind of area. So the general kind of rule, or I guess slight joke really, is that no one ever wants a film crew to come back to their house. And that doesn't mean that we necessarily trash the place or that it's left in a bad condition or we break things. No, definitely not. It's more that it's just such a huge kind of inconvenience for anybody that lives there or has to use that fairly regularly, especially if you're doing a standard film day. You might be doing a 10, 12, 14-hour day, so it can be quite disruptive to anyone who is directly in that location or vicinity or anyone around it. So make sure you stipulate that you are also entitled to come back and do reshoots, and I would have a specific date kind of period, sometime between this date and that date that we can come back and use reshoots. And you'll also need to stipulate that if you are paying them, that it's kind of explained in detail regarding the reshoots, whether the initial payment covers any reshoot dates, or the reshoot dates are going to be on top of the already kind of main principal photography that takes place. And also bear in mind, Sonia, that some locations are actually will not allow you to film at all, or if they do, there are very, very stringent processes that need to go that you need to go through and that need to take place. Obvious things like courtrooms, government buildings, and many private companies as well as public companies in certain areas of that company. They're quite protective of their brand and of how they want the outside world to see them as a consumer, how you're going to see them. So it's very important that you go through the right process and that you speak to the correct person. Some locations you need to get agreements, even if you might think, oh, it's just kind of like outside, it's in a park or something. Well, most independent or young or aspiring filmmakers, first-time filmmakers, think, oh, it's just in a local park, I can film there. Well, you still will need to get permission from your local council, or if you're shooting in Kings Park, you need to get a permit to be able to film for a commercial purpose in Kings Park, those kinds of things. So you just do your research. If you have any questions about, whether you are or are not allowed to shoot in a certain location, find out who owns that location and reach out to them by all means. All right, Sonia, I hope that answers your question. Now, if you liked Sonia's question, I would love for you to support a local actor. Give us a big share. Click the share button below this video and share it on social media. Now, if you are watching us here on Facebook, be sure to like and follow our page. And also, if you're watching us on YouTube, simply click subscribe and then click the notification bell next to it so that you can stay updated with everything that comes out from us when it comes out every single day. Now, if you are listening to us in the future on iTunes, then simply click the subscribe button. We'll keep you connected with the next episode as it comes out. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been an absolute pleasure. Now, if you have loved this episode and you might want to have one of your questions answered on this episode, please reach out to us. Send us an email. That can come through to Lauren, that's Loren, at actingclassesinperth.com. Or you can just leave a Facebook message or a comment in the comment section, and we'll try to collect those and reach out to you to get a recording from you soon if we think the question is one that would work well for the Daily Show. Now, that's it for today. I'm going to see you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another question answered by me here at Acting Classes in Perth. I'm Lauren Johnson. Like always, until I see you again soon, stay safe and happy acting.